And the Terrapins will kick it away to start. Fielded in the end zone, it's Hilton. He was looking for some running room, but not much to be found as he stopped at the 18. They go to the ground. Big pickup on the ground here to keep this drive moving and give them a first down.
You ain't getting by all these guys right up the middle unless your offensive line and your tight ends and everybody is putting in the work up front, committing to blocking. The running back does a great job finding the hole, exploding through. How about that nice, big, huge gain? If I'm the OC, let's call that one again.
Jackson gonna throw it. Makes the catch. It's Becker. They stop him almost immediately. Short gain there and still a little ground cover to pick up the first. This is the kind of game, a top 25 matchup in the early season that you look for when you're trying to build your resume.
Yeah, these are so fun because as a player you kind of get bored if you don't get challenged, but when you got an early season challenge like this, all the adrenaline, all the juice, Palmer, you're ready to rock and roll.
I love this. We've had this game circled for a long time because we learn a lot in these types of games. What are these teams about? Which conferences are better? We're going to get a lot of answers today.
They'll get the first down and spot it on the 49.
We love to see this on offense. Early in drives, getting that kind of yardage keeps you ahead of the chains.
And the Hoosiers will have it first and 10. Quarterback adjusting the pattern. Looking to throw on first down. Showing the arm strength to the left. Intercepted in the first drive.
Excellent job by this defense. You know they watched the tape last week. This offense was humming. They were clicking. They were in rhythm. You knew they would be aggressive, and they are in the first drive. Great discipline in the back end. Shows up, shows out, and creates the first takeaway of this football game.
They're looking to get the edge with this one on the toss. Picks up the first down, still moving. Turns it on down the left side. Inside the touchdown, Maryland! And once he got away from the knee, they had no shot at catching him.
And the offense punches in it again, and we call his name again. That's 2 touchdowns now in 2 games with still more to be played. I'll tell you what, I think this guy's name will be called a lot more throughout the season. He's that kind of good.
He'll bring it out. It's Hilton. Tackled at the 24 and almost breaks even with the yardage he would have gotten with a touchback. Indiana has the ball back, and the Hoosier offense comes out ready to go. Finding themselves down 7-0, they'd love to get a drive going here. And maybe he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that.
Great job of contained by this defense. And in order to do that, the end man on the line of scrimmage defensively has got to be able to set the point and force the football back into traffic. And that's exactly what happened there.
He wants to change this route. Jackson will throw. They got him down at the 40 after he ripped off 15 yards.
Slant routes, they're good against man coverage, but they're good against zone coverage too. If that receiver can find the soft spot between the linebacker and the DB, you'll take that throw all day.
Wants to go up top on first down. And that incomplete pass caused by the big hit on first down. Second down coming.
Not many receivers like to get hit. They just don't, okay? They're prima donnas. That's what they are. That's who they are. Nice job by the defender. You could tell he was catching the football. He was going to put a hit on him to make sure he had to think about something later, and you could see the ball pop out and fall to the ground.
And back to the air on second down. Got rid of it in a hurry, but he couldn't find his man. It's incomplete. Here they come, facing third and long from the 40. Wants to throw again. Looking deep. Found the save. Lowers that shoulder, delivers the blow. He gets it inside the 30 and out of bounds at the 29, and they are rolling. The Hoosiers are moving quickly down the field. The gift to the right. Not a whole lot of room there. 3 yards maybe. Second and 7.
And I kind of like how the running back didn't mess around. Like, just get downhill when you see an opening. A lot of times they close so fast, man. Be decisive, stick your foot in the ground, pick up 3 to 4, and we are not going to complain.
They'll try the right side. Powers forward, but stopped after a pickup of 2 to the 24.
And that run really didn't go anywhere. And a lot of times we don't focus on it enough. How important those 5 guys are up front. To get on those defensive linemen, to try to move them out of the way, to get a run game going, it squarely falls on the shoulder of those 5 offensive linemen.
One for the quarterback. He'll be stopped short of the line to gain. Needed about 3 more on that one. This is a makeable field goal distance, but this offense is thinking touchdowns. They'll go for it on 4th. Quarterback keeper. They stop and shove the marker, and they'll turn it over on downs.
That's such a terrible feeling, too, if you're the quarterback, because on 4th down, they're calling for you on a designed run. They're putting all their hopes on you to somehow go out and get that first, and he knew it. There was just nowhere to go. It's got to be a terrible feeling when you know the defense has won, especially on 4th down, and you're going to be coming off the field.
They come to the line for the first play of the drive, snapping it from the 21. And some room to work. That'll be a gain of 5 out to the 27.
Hey, how about it? How about the old toss play, right? QB catches the ball, tosses it to the running back. Listen, it's got to be thrown out in front of him so he can continue to run, and then the offensive line has to do a really good job of getting the edge so he can get north and south. You used to see that play a ton back in the day. You just don't see much of it anymore.
He'll get a fresh set down, stopped at the 31-yard line.
And just went with something very easy, very reliable. Flip it forward, let your receiver do the rest. I only got to get a few yards. Nice job, nice execution. First down.
The give to the back. Not much he could do there. Does pick up 2 to the 34.
And what's the closest guy to the football, man? It's those defensive tackles, and those guards and centers have to work together. They got to get those guys and get some movement. They don't on this play, and the big fella eats. Nowhere to go. When you run into him, you usually meet the ground.
Now on the move. Didn't get much done on that one. He'll fight his way out and maybe pick up a yard. How about these 2 running games so far? Dominance on the ground as we look at the first quarter stats. the same wavelength. They make clutch connections all the time.
And that's practice, man. That's all summer. That's all spring. Just so many hundreds and thousands of balls where you know exactly when that guy's going to break. You know.
It's picked off, and they ruin the drive with a turnover. Takes it the other way. And he will roll into the end zone. Touchdown, Indiana!
I love this free safety and how he plays center field. Oftentimes, he's able to bait QBs into bad decisions. He did it right here. Made the quarterback think he was dropping one way, put his foot in the ground, got in front of that pass, and then showed you the wheels, returning it for a touchdown.
The extra point here would tie the game. And let's check in with Kevin Connors in the studio. Kevin?
All right, guys, a little update on what else is happening in college football this weekend. North Carolina is being humbled today. There's just no other way to say it. A complete and thorough thumping in Chapel Hill. They're trailing by 14 to Rutgers. We'll circle back if anything big happens in this college football matchup.
And how about that one? Kevin will be keeping an eye on everything going on elsewhere. Maryland has the ball back and the Terrapin offense ready to go. Well, the good news is they threw a touchdown pass last time. It was just to the wrong team, Jesse.
Well, that's an unfortunate part of the game for quarterbacks, but guess what? They do happen. So you've got to be able to turn the page here and lead this offense.
Ryan, I think you know this defense is going to be aggressive. They're going to jump routes. They're going to play aggressive. You got to take advantage of that. Maybe use that this time to your advantage.
The Terrapins can really attack on this second and short. They'll run it out of the shotgun. He's got enough for the first down. They'll spot it at the 37.
It's got to feel good as an offense knowing that early in the drive you can turn around, hand it off, get a push up front, and go get positive yardage.
They've got it at the 37. It's first and 10. Motion from the wideout. Trying to get the corner. Turning it on. Found enough room to get it into enemy territory. They're down at the 43-yard line. And with that last carry, into triple digits, over 100 yards for the day.
And he's showing you power. He's showing you speed. He's showing you make you miss. He really is showing you he's a complete back. And by the way, it's still the first half.
They'll try the run. And a nice run there before the defense finally makes the stop.
Coaches always harp about staying ahead of the chains, and when you can run with that type of efficiency on first down, man, you are doing just that.
Throws it in. It's Richardson. And the defense had that one well covered. Just a short gain there.
Ooh, and that was close for the offense. They try to go wide receiver screen. They're counting on that receiver beating that defender. Wasn't able to make him miss that time, but if I'm on offense, I'm going back to that play later.
And the Terrapins come to the line trying to find a way to convert on third and very short. Quarterback will keep it just across the 20 with a first down at the 19.
If I'm building an offense in today's football, it's not around a quarterback that can't run. I'm going to find an athlete that I can give the ball because defensively, it starts to limit your coverages. It starts to limit what I can do. It makes me play the quarterback every single play. It just makes your job as a defensive coordinator extremely difficult.
He's wrestled to the ground right at the 15-yard line and a big red zone opportunity here. Halfway there on first down, it's second and 5. Back in motion, try to clear the picture. Toss to the outside. And into the end zone. And he's loose and he'll take it to the house. Touchdown, Terrapins!
Another rushing touchdown. That's now 2 on the game. This offense thought they could come into this one running the ball, being the more physical team, and they look like it right now.
And the extra point was good as they finished the drive. Kickoff unit on the field, and this defense will be called on to protect this lead. He'll bring it out. It's Hilton. He'll be forced out of bounds at the 20-yard line. Pretty good job of coverage on that kick. No reason to be in a big rush. They have some time here late in the half. Offense changing the play. Jackson gonna throw it. Going for it. And it's incomplete. They were looking for the huge gain on first down.
Well, this defense was ready for go balls. Against this receiver and his speed, he's one of the fastest in the country. They knew this quarterback was going to try to take the top off the defense. That time they couldn't link up, but if you're on defense, just know they're going to try that play again.
Looking to fire. Steps away. Got out of trouble, got rid of it. Intercepted. First down. Turnover can swing momentum. Touchdown, Maryland! The defense does the work itself with a pick six. That one hurts. Look, I know it's only the second quarter, but we're starting to see a pretty significant gap develop between these two teams right now.
No doubt. When your defense is scoring, your offense is scoring, good things happening for your ball club. This defense on point, reading their scouting report, making big plays.
And the extra point will tack another one onto this lead. Kickoff unit is out there, and boy, did that last drive quiet this crowd. The returner will field it and bring it back. He's out of bounds at the 23-yard line, and that's where this offense will go to work. Let's see if they can get something going here late in the half. Making side adjustments here. Jackson will throw. We've reached the 2-minute timeout, and a score on this drive would do wonders for their confidence. Hit hard just as he released it on first down and just couldn't get it to the receiver. Behind the chains now on second and long. Wants to go up top. And he is finding wide open defenders all over the field. His third interception of the day. A return there would have just been icing on the cake. They'll just have to settle for the cake at the 23. Plenty of time to work, not any time to waste as they take over here in the final 2 minutes of the half. He's in open space downfield. Going the other way, and he's got a roll. Touchdown, Terrapins! And they take it in for 6 more points.
Nice drive, nice touchdown. I love this offense's response to what happened a week ago. Listen, we're 0-1, so be it. Let's put the foot on the gas. Let's move forward, get better, and they have in game 2 so far.
Kickoff unit back to work, and they have been busy as they've built this sizable lead. He'll bring it back from inside his 5. Really disciplined job by the coverage unit to get down there and make the stop at the 19. So they start this drive from inside their own 20 at the 19-yard line. Give to the running back. Fouls through the defense.
And winning first downs is a priority for a defense, and you can't get bludgeoned. You can't get physically beat at the point of attack. You know the percentages. It's usually pretty good on first down that they're going to run the football. So them getting that big chunk, getting in second and short, not a good job by this defense.
Leaves it with the running back. Wrestled down at the 32 after a pickup of 5.
And that's a good second down run. Commit to the running game, run the football. Great gain. Great job by the offensive line. Keep it rolling.
They'll snap this one from the 32. It's first down. Might as well run him until they stop him. He's got it again. And there was nowhere to go. Just stopped in his tracks in the backfield. So first down didn't exactly go according to plan. Let's see what they can dial up on second down.
Reese, I got him right where I want him. Okay, I'm going to throw the football. Now I can get back in shotgun. Let's forget the running game stuff. We're going to play a little pitch and catch and see how good that secondary is.
Now they're going to throw it. They get him up, Marsh, and it pays off. The sack at the 20. The defense going to stop the clock with a timeout. They want to make sure they have everybody on the same page. Now a lot of work to do to move the chains, keep this drive alive after that earlier sack. Might be changing the route. On third and long, no secret what he needs here. Grab over the middle, it's Becker. And he gets it done on third down. They move the chains and they'll mark it at the 44.
And listen, the defense knew coming into this one, they were going to target him early and often. He is a weapon, and there's no mystery where the quarterback's going to be looking on critical down and distances. Let's see how they're able to cover him throughout the rest of this game.
Jackson gonna throw it. He puts a lot of air under it down the sideline. He dropped it. That deep ball was right on the money. You just have to make that catch.
We know about this running back's versatility, and he's made some plays in this game so far. Catching the ball that time, though, he had no shot. Defender bearing down on him. They're able to get the hit and make sure it falls incomplete.
Looking to go up top, and time's running out in the half. Pass is incomplete, and that's going to do it for the first half. First half in the books. Time now to join Kevin Connors in our halftime update. And the Hoosiers will kick it off to start the second half. From inside the 10, here he comes. Not a lot of space to be found. Good hustle by the coverage team, and they stop him at the 21. Here comes the Maryland offense back onto the field. Not sure they had to adjust much as they'll try to build on this lead. Trying to set the tone on the ground in the third. He's stopped after picking up one to the 23.
The big fella in the middle, man. Those defensive tackles, they go such a long way in deciding and really stopping the other team's run game. Just forcing contact with those guards and those centers, owning the line of scrimmage, and getting running backs on the run.
Running to Green. Gets a bit of a surge, and he's knocked down after picking up 3 to the 26.
And, man, the big fellas up front, they don't get a lot of credit. They don't get talked about a lot unless it's negative, but they're the big component, man. They've got to get some push, to get some running lanes, get this running game going. They're the ones that make it go.
Fires left. And the missed connection on third down.
That is a good omen for this defense. They were getting lit up in the first half. They knew something had to change. So to set the tone like this early on their opening drive of the third quarter and get a stop on third, that should really help their confidence.
And the returner goes down. Indiana sends the offense onto the field. Out of the gun, the inside handoff, looking for a crease. It's runs like that can really help your field position as they're up at the 35.
You want to make play calling easy for an offensive coordinator? Run the ball like that every play. I mean, when you can run that on first down and set up a short yardage on second down, It makes play calling easy. Every single call on that sheet is available here on second down.
He got enough for the first down, but somebody put the hit stick upside his head.
All right, nothing flashy there. He just did what it took to get the first down.
It's 1st and 10 from the 38-yard line. They try to get it outside on the left. Getting closer and closer to midfield, out of bounds. They'll mark it at the 47.
I think the toss does a really good job of getting the football on the edge quickly. You know, you toss it out there to the running back, you better block the defensive end. That's priority number one. Good job blocking the defensive end, getting a nice positive game on the toss back.
They'll keep it on the ground to the right. They knock him down, but he's got enough to get it across the line and pick up the first down.
Well, I love the job by the offensive line, getting a good push there on second down, and you see guys bleeding into the second level of the defense getting a hat-on-hat to go get that first.
They'll run it. Came through like a shot and knocked him down for a loss of 5.
And coming out in the second half, this offense, they needed to establish this run game. They needed to get something going. They're losing. They've got to find a way to get a flow, to get a rhythm. And so far here to start this second half, defense picking up where it left off.
Jackson will throw. Bears the pressure. Takes a hit as he fires. And it's picked off for the 4th time today. Looking for more room. Touchdown, Maryland! The defense takes matters into its own hands.
How oftentimes can you say that there's a safety who is the most dangerous guy on the field with the ball in his hands? Did you see that guy and his ability in the open field once he picked it off? There was nobody on offense even coming close to getting that guy down. What an athlete.
Lining up to tack one more onto that lead. And they add the extra point to finish the drive. We check in with Kevin Connors. What's going on, Kevin?
Guys, wanted to give you a quick update on a game happening in the American. West Virginia is running away with this one. Give that O an A+, and belt out another verse of Country Roads. They're on 14 over Florida Atlantic. Ought to be fun, fellas, to see how things play out in this notable matchup in the American.
Thanks for the update on that one, Kevin. Let us know when it goes final. Indiana has the ball back, and the Hoosier offense comes out ready to go. The big thing now, don't get rattled by that last pick 6, David.
Nah, it was a big mistake. Obviously, the defense. Running backs are not just running backs anymore. You're going to be a wide receiver in today's football. A great job sneaking out of the backfield, getting the football, letting them get some positive yards.
The Hoosiers can play this second down a lot of ways with just a few yards to go. They'll leave it with the lone back. And this one will be stopped for no gain.
Yeah, you just feel like the running back's asking for redemption on that one. You know, second and short, and you're giving him the football. He can't get the first himself. Now it's third down. He's looking over on the sideline like, call it again, throw me the ball, I can go do this. It's never a good feeling for the running back in that situation.
They'll try to move the chains on the ground. They thought they could just run it on third and short, but this defense was there to make the stop.
How frustrating is that? You're that running back. Where were you supposed to go? There was absolutely no lane for him on that play.
So the offense is going to go for it on 4th down. He'll take it himself. How about that defense rising up and stopping him short on 4th down?
And you could tell he trusted himself. He thought he could take off, get that first down. Just a little too much speed on that defense. They closed that gap so quick, didn't let him get to the first down marker. Turnover on downs.
Maryland has the ball back, and the Terrapin offense ready to go. They had to punt it away on their last possession. possession, but man, what great field position this time.
I mean, this is awesome. Like, last possession didn't go great. Now you're set up in an opportunity to get some points. Start thinking about what plays I like, Jesse, as I cross the field.
There are a lot of offensive coordinators out there, David, and in this position, they like to take a shot right away and try and capitalize on this field position.
Toss sweep. Try to get it outside to the right. He almost punched it in for 6. They'll get him down at the 1-yard line.
How nice is it as a play caller when you've got a running back as good as this guy, right? I mean, you can just dial up conservative run calls. Nothing has to be too tricky, too fancy. You just know he's going to go make good things happen. Even when it's not blocked properly, he is still finding ways to rip off long runs. This guy now has...
And he'll step into the end zone. Touchdown, Terrapins!
And after starting the season 0-1, they knew they needed more from their offense in this game. Just had to find ways to make more explosive plays, and that's what they've been able to do. They've executed at a tremendous level. I really like the quarterback play and the leadership that he's showing, and because of that, they look like they're going to get back to 500, and let's see where this team can go.
Fielded in the end zone. It's Hilton. He was looking for some running room, but not much to be found as he stopped at the 18. A little bit backed up to start this drive from their own 18-yard line. Quarterback making adjustments. Looking to throw on first down. Intercepted. The defense has set him up. Picked up a few extra on that return, but what a play by this defense to get the football.
And some defensive backs just have a way of finding the football, and he's starting to develop that. His 3rd interception on the season just has a good feel for playing that spot in the back end.
Here comes the Maryland offense back onto the field. Looks as if they didn't get it off in time. It'll be a delay of game. So frustrating to see an offense lose track of the play clock and pick up a penalty like that. Another delay of game penalty. This is just sloppy. The quarterback just lost track of the play clock, didn't get the snap off quickly enough. Here's the handoff. They make the stop, but not before he takes a chunk out of what they need to move the sticks. We've reached the break. It's Maryland with the lead. This has been a complete obliteration so far, as the 3rd quarter stats will show you. It'll be 2nd down as we open the final stanza. Hyden now in motion. They'll toss it to the left. They make the tackle after he gets 2 down to the 25.
And I know you can play these late game situations differently, but I love when you just stay physical. You run the football, you preserve the lead, you got great field position, you're in a great position to salt this clock away and get it done.
The Terrapins come to the line on 3rd and short, trying to keep the drive alive. Sends it back in motion. Rides to the back. They've got it just outside the red zone. They'll move the chains. It's at the 21.
And this offense does it again on 3rd down. They have been so elite on 3rd down all game long. That's the money down. All the coaches talk about it.
There he goes. On the move. He'll get that one all the way down to the 4-yard line before he stops.
big reason why his team has the lead right now late is because of his performance running the football. Well over 100 yards in this game. They knew that they were going to have to really put a lot of pressure on him. He'd have to shoulder.
And he runs it in for the score. Touchdown, Maryland!
Points, and more points. This offense has had their way. They just keep their foot on the gas, keep putting up points, keep putting up touchdowns. And you know what? This is one of those stats days. You look back and you're like, that guy had 12 touchdowns on the year. Well, 4 or 5 of them might have been in this game.
Kickoff unit on the field, and this defense will be called on to protect this lead. Here he comes from inside his own 5. He goes out of bounds on that return right at the 20-yard line. Indiana sends the offense onto the field. A very disappointing performance for the #1 team in the country. There'll be a new team atop the rankings when they come out next. Quarterback may change this route. He'll start this drive firing. Got the quick pass. And a 9-yard gain on first down leaves them with 2nd and short.
Guys have the backfield now. It's not just run the ball downhill anymore. You got to be versatile. I got to be able to trust you in the pass game, and I got to be able to throw you the football, and you can do that right there. I know you're going to catch it, and I can depend on it.
Back to pass on 2nd down. Caught versus the marker. It's Becker. They'll spot the ball at the 34 as he goes out of bounds right there. Lining up from the 34 on first down.
I'll tell you, QBs and receivers, they practice these out routes all week long. You've got to anticipate. You've got to be comfortable throwing it before he gets out of his break. And they executed it perfectly right there to pick up that first.
Yeah, and you see running backs in today's football, they play a wide receiver basically for you, but you got to find a guy that you can throw it to, and you know he's going to catch the ball consistently.
And the Hoosiers in a good spot here with 2nd and short. He wants to throw it again. It's picked off, and another empty drive. Got room on the return. And he's going to take it all the way back. Touchdown, Terrapins!
And this has been the story of the game. Everything going their way. Offensively, special teams, and now on defense. Here in the 4th quarter, they're still being aggressive. They're still jumping these throws. And he picked that thing off and took it all the way to the house.
Kickoff unit getting some extra work as this lead has really grown. On the move from inside his 5. Good job by the coverage unit to put a stop to that return. Indiana has the ball back, and the Hoosier offense comes out ready to go. There's a lot of pressure when you have that #1 beside your name, and perhaps it was the pressure, perhaps it was just one of those days, but that rain is coming to an end.
And this offense just hasn't found a way to kind of open it up. Like, they haven't found those explosive plays. It feels like the defense is kind of strangling them and staying really close to the line of scrimmage because of their lack of their big play ability over the top. This offense has to dial something up.
He might want another play. Linebackers moving, trying to confuse the quarterback. They'll go to work in the air on 2nd down. Unloads to the wideout. He's got an open man. It's a running room. Oh, there were a few steps there. He was thinking touchdown, and they finally get him down after the big kick out of the 25.
A lot of times when you go to the stat sheet after the game, defenses are going to look at explosive plays. Like, we're taught to be top down, stay deep. Don't give up those big plays. Make them earn it all the way down the field. Bad job giving up the big play in the passing game.
To the air on first down. Not much running room there thanks to this senior defender. 2 minutes now left in this one, and time is running short if they want to find a way to pull this one out. second down. Back to pass. Throws to the right. And he'll take it in for the touchdown. It won't have much impact on the outcome of the game, but it is a fabulous parting gift, a consolation prize for the win.
Yeah, good for them. They put together a drive. They got a touchdown. It's been a bad day. I mean, this is a day they're going to want to forget. They're getting destroyed, but at least you get some positive vibes. Maybe finish this game on a little bit of a high note. A little bit.
They're set to kick it off. Do you think this crowd's going to get loud when their defense comes on the field? He'll start the return inside his spot. And the return man showing great vision to be able to find some space and put his team in much better field position.
Give him an inch.
They'll start this drive at the 33-yard line. They'll run it to keep the clock moving. Spins away from the defense. Makes it past the marker. Tackled at the 43 after picking up 10. Really determined performance from this running game, guys. And I wouldn't call it an upset, but it is going to lead them to victory against a higher-ranked team.
Yeah, so it would be an upset, Reese. That's exactly what an upset is beating a team that's ranked higher than you.
Intercepted. Big play stops the drive. Bringing it back. At the 30. He'll be stopped, but not before getting the football and picking up big yardage on the return. What a play there.
Obviously, this game hasn't gone the way they would have liked, but coaches are always looking for positive moments and things that you can build on. How about that young man going out, getting an interception? Yeah, they're being blown out. They're probably not going to win this football game, but that is the type of play that as a coaching staff you can build on for next week's game.
A little too anxious along that offensive line. That'll be a false start.
Did you see the replay? Snare. Play here. 22.
Quarterback making checks.
Ready. To the line. To the line.
Looking to throw. Here comes the heat. And the quarterback will take a sack back at the 36.
Man, this offense just keeps trying to find something to go well. They're down so big. There's still time on the clock. Maybe they can put something together, but so far today, this has been ugly.
To the air on second down. Catch in the middle. It's Hilton. They make the stop, trying to pick up just a little bit at a time to get to that first down mark. Third play of the drive, and they need to make something happen here on third and long. Looking to throw, and he needs a bunch. And they can't hook up on the big play, and that brings up a fourth down.
And this defense has put a game together. Like, it is hard to put all the facets of defense together. Run defense, pass defense. They've been so good, man. Dialed in. You could tell they were ready. They were fast. They were physical.
He'll take a shot. And it's incomplete, and this defense makes a fourth down stop.
And these aren't easy situations for these offenses, man. Like, it's a known passing situation. The defense is playing coverage. Nowhere to go with the football, forces the incompletion, and this one is all but over.
Fights off the defender. Good pickup on the ground, and they'll mark him down at the 39. Guys, I think we all expected this game to be close. A couple teams of this caliber, but boy, what a statement by the underdog in this one.